guys. Welcome to this section on social media marketing management training course. So, on this very section, we'll be dealing with difficult conversation, right? Uh, Difficult conversations are an inevitable part of handling sales and customers. So, whether it's addressing a customer complaint, or maybe negotiating a contract, or you are communicating a price increase, or maybe uh, anything that has to do with relating to your customer that may trigger them into maybe getting upset, right? Uh, Such conversation can be challenging and as such requires strategic approach. So this very aspect is going to help us on how we can what deal with and handle difficult conversations, right? So now these are some of the importance of handling difficult conversations. Number one is what? To build trust and credibility, right? Then secondly is what? Resolve issues and improves customer satisfaction. First, you know, once there are difficult conversations or once you encounter such a conversation, you know, it's going to actually affect a lot if you are unable to handle such. So it makes so much sense if you'll be able to handle such conversations, right? And that's why we're trying to highlight some of the importance of dealing with such conversation because the opposite will be the result or will be the case. So once you're able to handle difficult conversation, you are able to build trust and what credibility with your customers more. You're able to resolve issues and improve customer satisfaction. In a situation whereby maybe a customer is complaining about a particular product or is complaining about a particular price increase or the person is not satisfied with a particular service, you should be able to resolve without having issues with them, right? So that as they get satisfied, it improves this relationship and it builds more credibility, right? Then the third thing here is to enhance reputation and loyalty. It enhances the brand reputation or business reputation and loyalty. So your customers become more of loyal customers, right? And as such, it result to increase in sales, to result to increase in sales and revenue. And that's one aspect every brand, every business is interested in. You want to make sales and you want to increase your revenue, your return on investment, right? So it also helps to develop strong relationship and partnership. The more the satisfaction, the more stronger the relationship between you and your customer or your business and your customer, and the more enhanced your partnership becomes, right? So it's very important, right? So now, what are the steps to handling difficult conversations, right? Knowing that it is very important to handle difficult conversation, what are the steps to handling these difficult conversations? That's what we are trying to look into. Number one, you have to prepare and plan, right? You need to prepare and plan because you can't just handle such a conversation without prior preparation. You need to prepare, you need to plan towards that. We're going to still look into that later, right? Then you need to listen actively. It's very important. You need to listen actively. You need to pay attention to your customers so that you will be on the same page, right? You need to acknowledge and validate as much as you can, right? You need to stay calm and composed. You need to stay focused and on solutions that you are offering. You need to also communicate clearly and transparently, very important. Then follow up and follow through, right? So now let's look into them individually, right? Now, the steps to handling difficult conversation. Number one is what? Prepare and plan. Now, this is more of when you anticipate potential issues. You are preparing for issues. You are already set for any issue that will come up. Then you are able to gather facts and information regarding such so that it will ease you to define the conversation's objective and to be able to handle such conversation. That way, you are choosing the right time and also the right place to uh, uh, tackle such a conversation. If it is a business that you are managing offline, right? There are, or maybe you are handling your own business and it requires, or maybe some form of partnership that will require you people going to a quiet place where there will be no distraction, no disturbances. You're able to sit quietly, relax, or maybe take some little form of refreshment. Then you converse. That's where choosing the right time and right place is actually uh, coming here. So first, you can anticipate potential issues. It's very certain, just like I stated, gather facts and information so that you can be able to handle such conversations. Then you define the conversation's objective. Know that this is what you are going to derive at the end of the conversation so that you'll be able to go in that direction, right? And the next thing is what? Listening actively. You pay attention to your customers' concerns. Whatever issue they raise, whatever it is they come up with, you need to pay attention to them, right? You need to ask questions for clarification and, if possible, paraphrase and summarize their issues, right? Then let them feel or show concern, relate with their emotions so that uh, you'll be on the same page. We already discussed some of these things in when we're handling emotional intelligence and self psychology, right? So when you show empathy and understanding, you are in a way addressing such a difficult conversation, because when somebody is relating with you, somebody is talking to you, and the person feels that you are actually relating, you're understanding them, there will be this connection, and it will ease the communication process. So active listening is very important. Then the next thing is what? Acknowledge and validate. So you need to recognize your customers' feelings and perspective. You need to acknowledge their perspective, where they are coming from. You need to acknowledge their feelings, right? And you also validate their experiences. Somebody is coming to you and the person is telling you that I used this particular product and this was my experience. I'm not happy about it. You need to validate it if you know that this is something that is common. For instance, maybe a client comes to you and the person is telling you that my account just got restricted after you visited it, or maybe the person is complaining that the shoe I bought from you, the moment I put them on, one of the sole removed. You need to, in a way, validate their experiences. You can relate to them in a way that such can happen if blah 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 blah. Right? Let them feel that yes, this can happen. It's very possible. Not to tell them that it's impossible. No, right? And you also need to show appreciation for their business. It's very important, right? Then the next thing is what? Stay calm and composed in a situation whereby you need to uh, somebody is meeting you one-on-one. You need to stay calm. You don't need to feel angry. You don't need to be furious. You don't need to frown your face. You need to stay calm and composed, right? In a way, you are in such a way you are managing your emotions and your tune so that you don't react in a way that it will trigger the customer or it will result to something different from what you were anticipating or what the objective of the conversation is all about, right? You also avoid being defensive, or you avoid being confrontational. You don't have to defend yourself, right? Remember this phrase always, that customer is always right, even if they are wrong. Once it's about business, once it's about patronizing, they are always considered right, right? So all you need to do is to try to compose yourself, stay calm, so that you place yourself in their shoe and you're able to address and satisfy them. That's very important. Then you also maintain a professional uh, you have to be very professional in whatever it is you do, very professional, right? Then the next thing is what? Focus on solutions, right? You need to offer alternative and options if there are, right? You need to offer alternative to whatever it is that they are complaining about. If you need to replace the product, go ahead. If you need to make refund, go ahead. If whatever it is that you know you can do that will bring solution to the problem, ensure you do it. Provide options, alternatives, very important. Then collaborate on a mutually beneficial solution, right? The kind of solution that you benefit and they will benefit, not the type that maybe one is going to lose, right? Ensure that it is something that is going to benefit both parties. Then, if possible, you can highlight the benefits and value, right? In a way, you are telling them this is what they can achieve, this is what they can do, this is what it's about. And for them to get to know one or two about it, it's going to make things very easy, right? It's going to make things very easy, and they'll feel like, wow, so this is what I'm supposed to do, and I didn't know, right? In that way or in that manner, you are in a way focusing on the solution and you are addressing that difficult aspect of that very conversation, right? Then the next thing is what? You need to communicate clearly and transparently. Very important. You need to communicate in a clear manner. Use simple and concise language, just like we covered in one of the section, right? Use simple and concise language when you are communicating to your customer or to whoever it is. It is very important. Avoid jargon and technical terms. Don't complicate things for your customer. If you know that the terms and languages will be very complicated, very complex for their comprehension, understanding, you just have to break it to the simplest form so that it becomes very easy for them to comprehend and assimilate. In that way, you will be able to communicate clearly and transparently to your customers. And also, you are able to handle difficult conversation in that about limitations and constraints. If there is anything you know that this one is going to limit whatever, you need to be very honest with it. You need to tell them this is likely what's going to happen. This is what is likely what we are going to face. You need to let them know so that you are on the same page with them. In that way, the conversation or the communication will be very clear and transparent, right? Then the next aspect of handling difficult conversation is to follow up and follow through. In following up and following through, you are ensuring to the agreed upon solution is implemented. You are following up to ensure that everything is implemented at the end of the day. Not that you leave them halfway or you leave them by the roadside and you don't conclude whatever it is that you people agreed upon. It really doesn't make so much sense, right? So you check in with the customer to ensure that satisfaction. A customer made complaint about something and you are doing it, you need to follow through, you need to follow up, check them up if at all they are satisfied, if at all you've been able to resolve it to their satisfaction. Very important, right? And also make adjustments in situations where adjustments are needed so that there will be dissatisfaction at the end of the goal. The most important thing is what? Customer satisfaction, so that we'll be able to hit our goals, right? Then it is very important to also consider some of these additional tips, which will be very helpful as well, in as much as the most important thing has been covered, but these additional tips will also help out, right? Use open-minded or open-ended questions to encourage conversations, right? It is very important. Then avoid taking things personally. Show willingness to compromise and find a middle ground, right? In a situation whereby it needs to, by compromising here, it means maybe you are trying to bypass one or two in your business or organization to ensure that they are satisfied, not as if you are doing anything negative or bad, right? Also document the conversation and any agreement or actions, right? Document such conversation or agreement so that if they are coming back, it's going to make so much sense, right? You can reflect upon them or you can bring them up or you can reactivate such, and it will make things very easy and very straightforward, right? As easy and as simple as it is, that's how to handle uh, difficult conversation, right? It is very important because it's going to help you to make sales and generate revenue in your business. By so doing, we are very certain and we are so much aware that our business will grow or our brands will definitely grow, right? So our next section is going to be on marketing channels, and that's where we are going to be looking into how we can use uh, social media platforms to grow and promote our businesses, ranging from Facebook marketing, YouTube marketing, Instagram marketing, WhatsApp marketing, and so on and so forth, right? So ensure you go through this and also ensure to be part of the section on marketing channels, as it is very, very important.